Hi everyone, I'm Hunsley and welcome to Market Index's Company Insight series. Our conversation today is with Ben Phillips, Executive Chair at Norfolk Metals. Norfolk Metals is focused on advancing the Orroroo Uranium Project in South Australia and the Roger River Copper Gold Project in Tasmania. Hey Ben, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much for having me, Hans.
All right, so before we get into some of the recent moves that Norfolk has been making, it has been a bullish time for uranium investors as spot prices recently touched 15-year highs. When you talk to industry players, what are you hearing from them, especially around the outlook for demand?
Yeah, I think my biggest learning would have been there was a uranium conference in Adelaide the other week where Norfolk had a presence, and seeing traders from the US there, scientists from around Australia, people with operating mines, mines soon to be in production, early stage resources, people looking for resources like us. I think it's clear that there's a few sellers of physical uranium backing off. There's more people buying physical uranium, and there's a lot of discussion around enrichment, and then you've got supply issues with Ukraine and Kazakhstan as well. But with the spot price breaking $80 a pound now, and I think the ask is 82. It's a very bullish time for uranium.
Okay, well, you mentioned Adelaide there. Why don't we talk about South Australia? I mean, some prominent uranium jurisdictions do have their risk, sovereign risk, and other players in the region, infrastructure risk, so on and so forth. How does South Australia compare?
Yeah, well, South Australia is the premier state for uranium in Australia, which you could probably say is the premier country for mining, with Beverly in production, Honeymoon soon to be in production, Olympic Dam in production, and then a host of other mid-tier companies, things like Alligator Resources. It's a great community to be involved in, but for us especially, 3 hours north of Adelaide, with an opportunity to discover what's an entirely new uranium district. I think it's incomparable to any other stock on the market. And then, yet again in Adelaide, the community that surrounds all these uranium explorers, developers, producers, it's a very tight community and just a fantastic place to operate.
Well, that's great to hear. Let's talk about that project 3 hours away from Adelaide. It's called the Orroroo Project. Talk to me about some of the key features that make it a highly prospective project.
Yeah, key features are, the main one is there's already proven occurrences of uranium at Orroroo. That was done by Norfolk Metals in February of this year with a PFN tool probe and a spectral gamma tool probe going down historical Link Energy coal drill holes that are now agricultural water wells. And that proves there's uranium there at depths of 100 metres, 113 metres, 148 metres. So provided there was enough uranium there and it was permeable, it's totally suitable for in situ recovery. The proximity to Adelaide is phenomenal. 3 hour drive, 274 kilometres north. And in terms of the company, Norfolk Metals, that holds that asset, the structure's incredibly tight, and it's very well funded.
Yeah, well, and if I can draw on that as well, you have talked about in your presentations about that this project seems to be geologically analogous. You were talking about Boss Energy. I think you mentioned Olympic Dam from BHP. What does that mean, and why does it matter?
Yeah, very, very good question. When you talk about Beverly and Honeymoon, I'll just mute my phone, they're in the Frome embayment. So when we talk about the Wallaway Basin, it's really, we're discussing a few things. One is you talk about the host environment being these sediments. So there's some sediments in the Wallaway Basin that are the same age as the Frome embayment. And the Namba Formation is one of the sediment sort of boundaries that host some of the uranium in those deposits that are known, either developing or soon to be in production, but also having uranium occurrences at similar depths, and then also having a model where the potential source rock comes from and adjacent mountains or ranges or host rocks. So I think it's Radium Hill is part of the source for Beverly, but for us, we believe it could be the Brighton limestones, which are part of the Flinders Ranges to the west of the Wallaway Basin.
Okay, excellent. So what has the process been like for acquiring these drilling-related permits, and have you learned any key lessons as a result of it?
The process is it's a long and delicate process. We're drilling on freehold landowners' private property, so it's their farm, it's their home. What we've learned is our strategy has paid off well in the fact that we have access. It's been a long 12-month journey to get that trust, but we have it now, and it's very, very beneficial because should we have success in that region, we have very sound relationships with key people in the community. We speak to the CEO of the Shire, the mayor is one of the guys that has signed up to have his land drilled, and it's an example of just doing the right thing, working with the Department of Energy and Mining, taking your time, and getting to where we are now with a fully approved, permitted drill program, which is to start very, very soon.
Yeah, of course, that's fantastic. Okay, so you're saying that you've got a drilling campaign that's going to start very soon. What measures have you and the team in Norfolk been taking to ensure that that drilling campaign is actually successful?
Yeah, well, money always helps.
Of course.
We had some money. Now we've got a bit more money because we just completed the capital raise, which was cornerstoned by key major shareholders and a couple of brokers that have supported the company since the IPO. So money always helps in giving things the best opportunity for success. But really, it's the team we've put together as well with Mark Cousins, who's a very experienced uranium geologist. He was on the discovery team at 4 Mile East and West at Beverly. And then he also delineated the Bennett Wells resource that's held by Cauldron Energy in Western Australia. So he's highly skilled. And the drilling team as well. Watson's Drilling is the drilling contractor for Orroroo. And Watson's has actually drilled Beverly, Honeymoon, and Alligator's Samphire resource all this year, either delineating resource or drilling test wells. And we've actually now stepped up the game, and we're bringing across a rig called the Bourne 1000 THD. The key point of that rig is just trying to drill as many meters as possible before Christmas, because it can drill a hole, allow the logger to log the hole and remediate or grout the hole all in one day. So we can do a hole a day. Doesn't mean you'll always do a hole a day, but the potential to do a hole a day is, it's ambitious, it's aggressive, and it's accelerated, trying to give the asset the best possible chance of success in the near term.
Okay, fantastic. So you've got all the drilling permits, you've got the campaign coming up. So let's talk about catalysts. What are those upcoming catalysts, and when do you expect they're going to happen?
Yeah, for drilling to commence, we're talking a function of, weeks, days. It's not even a month. So it's just now, if you want to call it that, really. I think I sort of call days or weeks nowish. And the only outstanding item to do which is now done, is paying an environmental bond to the department, which is done, and then facilitating the mobilisation of different contractors. So there's nothing standing in the way now. It's just all systems go, and we get an outcome, which is very exciting. It's like you roll the dice, they're spinning, and now we wait.
All right. Well, all systems go in Norfolk Metals. Ben, it's been great to discuss what's been happening over there. Thanks for joining us at Market Index.
Thank you very much for having me.